All right, everyone, it's June 18th, and we are working on the 14-day skill up. And so today we are finishing section 2, and I just want to thank Helen and Lois, they're both on here right now, for sharing last week their little story about doTERRA, and hopefully that will help you kind of get your thoughts down. And when people do ask, well, how do you know about doTERRA, or why are you sharing about doTERRA? You don't go, I got some oils at a party, and I really like them, and they smell good, and now you can get them from me, right? You kind of can get these like stories kind of played out in your mind, right? Have you ever felt that way before?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you start to kind of get your story, and the story changes over time, and you get more comfortable, and you're not always say that whole thing, but sometimes you do say the whole thing. Just kind of depends with someone, but it's really good to get in your head, how you started and why you started and why you're on the path that you're on. And like I said, for me, like when I started, it was just for my family to use the oils for wellness. And then I started to share with my friends, and they loved the oils, and I wanted to get more into their homes and have my friends have better wellness. And then it started to learn more about doTERRA as a company and all the amazing things that they do, and I wanted to be part of the movement. Then I started to grow financially in it, and I wanted my friends to be able to do the same. So, it's just kind of it's a different path. That if you had asked me at different times the past 4.5 years, it would be different every time. But to kind of keep revamping that, and to not be afraid to share that story. Because Lois and Helen, some people might not even know that you share the oils. And I had some experiences early on where someone's like, yeah, I just bought oils for my friend. And I was like, wait a minute, like I shared with you first, but they're like, oh, I didn't know that you have the oils or share the oils. I was like, oh, so it's okay to share that you are, sharing with other people. And I think it's great that, people would rather buy from me than they would at a health food store or something like that. And so it's great to be able to make sure people know. Have either of you had any experiences of that happen where people didn't know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. At church, they had a lady from that other essential oil company, Young Living, come in and do a seminar. And I said, oh, I would like to have done that.
Right.
I didn't know you sold oils, they said.
Yeah. So I think, and you might still be able to get in and share yours too, but I think a lot of times.
I have.
Yeah, good. And so if the thing with essential oils is because they are becoming bigger and bigger, if you don't share with someone else is going to. And, if you aren't the first one to do it, someone else is going to get them. And there's so many people like I met on Saturday that I've been wanting to learn about these. I'm so thankful I met you. And so there's just people that are just really wanting to learn more, and they don't have anyone to turn to. So just be open about it. And however you feel comfortable doing it, whether you share on Facebook or verbally or just let people know. I got tagged the other day as like, oh yeah, Lisa Dreco, the oil lady. And I was like, yes.
That oil lady.
I'm like the oil lady now, I'm like, okay, I'm known as that, which is like, that's getting good, right?
Can you say
very good. I love it. That's perfect. So you just kind of like walk around with that and carry it around.
Carry your roller bottles.
That's true. That's definitely what's needed. Okay. Let's get into the homework. I'm going to share my screen. And you both have me for the next half hour or so. So let's just see what kind of questions you had with this week's homework. And I can't see you, so if you have something, just kind of speak up. How about in the top 2 kits? What did we think about what she said about the kits and really thinking about those kits? What were your thoughts on that? And I can maybe come back to you too so I can see. Do you feel comfortable when you're sharing your kits, and do you feel like all the kits and feeling comfortable about them versus just getting the membership and a couple oils?
I'm not really comfortable sharing the home essentials, is it? That's $550 because I think they're going to be turned off by that.
Right. So that's a Natural Solutions, and I think that's super,
That's it.
yeah, common. But do you like how she kind of drops? So she does offers a kit, and then that they're going to like drop it down kind of to the
Drop
next
it
kit.
down to the next one.
Yeah, and the new guides that you get from doTERRA, the like class kit, the class guides, and the class I forgot the name of the class is the Natural Solutions class, I think. It sets you up to sell that kit. So when you're doing the natural, in your back office, you can buy class guides, and there's one called Natural Solutions, and basically shows them how they're replacing everything in what they're getting, and it shows you the value that they're saving. And I'm with you, like I don't sell this kit as much as I should, but I think it's a good place to start, and I always call it like the diamond kit. And then if not, then you can drop down to one of the other kits, the Home Essentials or the other two kits.
Right.
Put it out there, though, you never know.
You never know. And I started with the Home Essentials kit. But
Yeah.
then after I saw the Natural Solutions kit, I wished I had got that one.
Yeah, and share that with people, because I think most of us are.
Other things.
Right. So I think most of us feel that way. We're like, oh, because you save so much money and you get we know you get such a better start because you're getting into the vitamins and the shampoo and conditioner, and like, it's really like an over-styled change. So it's really a great kit to start with if it's in their financial, and with that kit, you get 100 free in oils too. If they do 100, then they get 100. They do 100 LRP the following month, and they get a free 100 in oil. So it's really a good kit to start with. And then they save so much money, and they start at 15% back. So value-wise, it is the best oil kit. And there's a lot of people in doTERRA that only sell that kit. So don't be afraid of it.
Okay.
And the Natural Solutions Guide sets you up for that kit too.
That's right.
How about you, Helen, with offering the kits? I know you've enrolled a couple people, but...
Yeah, after watching the videos, I think I'm going to feel more comfortable, because you can do that drop down,
Yeah.
and like you say, start at the top and, work your way. Just let them know what's out there.
Yeah.
And I think I have a couple of people that we're having a hard time getting dates because of their hours. They work in restaurants. It's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
But watching this section 2, I don't know, it kind of reinforced, because I think somewhere they said you should be saying the advantages, the positive things of things, rather than fearing what they're going to say.
Right.
So just, turn it around and, just throw it out there and just, play with it. So that I think I'm not going to get, discouraged when I start there and people are like, I don't want to hear about it. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, right. And we can't have preconceived notions of what people want or need, So we truly believe, and we know that the Natural Solutions kit really would be a great kit, I don't think the Diamond kit or the Every Oil kit's necessarily the best kit for people to start with personally, unless they want everything right away or they like have a business. That's just me. But some people, if they're starting the business or they have a place of, or they have a business, that is a really good investment. But I really think the Natural Solutions is the best way. And then setting up the loyalty rewards order from there of what they wanted. And with their loyalty rewards order, they're just getting the vitamins because they're replacing that. So we'd like to, share the different ways that you can get started. And I'm going to start with what I think is the best option there for you for the optimal health, and then we'll talk about the different kits that you can get.
Okay.
And because really we do, because if we just say, oh, here goes the Family Essentials.
We had lost you, Lisa. You froze.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay,
I
so
I don't know what you were saying though.
I don't know what I was saying either, but
Okay.
basically I was just saying, if we start with the Family Essentials kit, guess what they're going to buy? The Family Essentials kit. he's talking about the Home Essentials kit, they're going to get the Home Essentials kit.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk about them all and put them out there.
Okay.
Any other questions with that? And that kind of goes with like how to close, you know, and just kind of practicing that. And her video is really good with that too. But I think always starting by saying, you know, at the very end, there's, you know, the three pathways, and to kind of get people thinking, like someone just wants natural solutions for their home. And the second pathway is someone that would like to share and, you know, learn some more. And the third is doing what I do. And you can ask them which pathway that they feel like they're on. And I do that sometimes in our group too. You'll notice I'll ask that, like, and there's an oil for that, because I want to know, like, oh, are there some people that, and I think both of you have replied that you've been a one, you know, you've been on this path and now you're starting to be on this path, because I want to reach out to people that are interested to take the next steps. So at a class, most likely people are just going to be probably on that first pathway, but you might get someone that's like, well, I think I could share with some friends, and then you can book a class with them, right? Or someone wants to do the business right out of the gate. That happens sometimes. You're like, all right, let's start talking about it. So it's really important not to leave that part out of your ending. It's easy to do because you're so caught up in the closing, but if you can just talk about that before you go into the kits, talking about the different pathways. Do you like that three pathways, like how that's worded? Is that comfortable for you or makes sense? And I'll admit, I haven't always done the three pathways. I tend to be like, well, I do try to say, like, if you're interested in hosting an event like this, you get a free something from me. And I'm like, I'm always like, if you're interested in the business, feel free to talk to me too. I'd love to talk to you about that. So I don't necessarily do the three pathways, but I mention using hosting events or business side in my class. So you can do how it feels comfortable, but just if you have these 5 to 10 people in front of you, don't forget that part, because it's really important, because that's how we grow our business, by hosting more classes and getting other people and interested in the business. And you never know who's there. And they might know, if they're not interested, they might know somebody that's interested too. Are there any questions? I know there's a lot to closing a class. I really like what Angela does. She's pretty straightforward and kind of helpful in terms of if people say no, or how you can drop down to the next kit. How do you feel about closing a class or closing a one-on-one? I know, Helen, you've probably done some, I don't think you've done a class, but you've done a one-on-one, and Lois, I know you've done a class. So how did it go for you?
It goes good. I talked to a couple of people this weekend, and I think, I don't know what's going to come of it. We are going to follow up. I gave them a couple of samples, and they, I guess, I don't know. I think it's the situations. If it just so happens that you say the right thing, then they don't say no.
Right.
So, if it's, especially when you're talking to mothers, and they're looking for some solution. So I've gotten no's. I've gotten a lot of no's, but I've kept going back, and I'm still working on the people. But I think that a no can sound just as good as a yes sometimes. That's the way I'm looking at it. You're saying no, but you don't really mean no. Some people say yes, and they don't really mean yes.
Right. And, no could be no for not this moment, but maybe I'll reach back out to you, or maybe no means no, and then you move on to the next person. So you're not, attached to that person. But I think sometimes when people say no, maybe they haven't learned enough, or they need to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
oh, do you need to learn? Are you just not interested in essential oils? It's not what you're into, or do you want to get to, be educated?
You're gone again.
Some people, oh, I'm gone. What is going on with my connection tonight, huh?
He's frozen again, huh?
Okay, can you hear me though?
Yeah, she's frozen.
No.
Oh, okay, now, but I'm back. That's really weird. It's always something with Zoom, I feel. I was saying about the nose that sometimes people go right from the sample to the sale where they need to have the education piece in the middle.
Right.
So make sure that after you give them a sample, like, you know, what questions do you have? Where, you know, do you want to meet one-on-one and we can talk about this, you know, before just going right to the selling the kit too is really important. A lot of people say, like, well, I gave them a sample. They're just not buying from me, you know? Well, they need to have like the education, like, okay, how that sample work for you? Like, what questions do you have? Can we meet and like talk about what your health goals are and about it, you know? So they need that, like that extra step in there. That help? How about you,
Yes.
Lois? How about the clothes for you when you were getting those people enrolled?
You know, my class was different. I called mine a party because we made roller bottles. And after we got through the preliminary part and went over the trifold, and they started making roller bottles, it got kind of chaotic. Everybody was having a good time partying and deciding what to do, and we really didn't have a close.
Okay.
Per se.
But you enrolled people there.
I had 2 people enroll, but they picked out their own kits from the trifold and came and told me what they wanted.
Yeah.
I'll do a better job next time.
Yeah, so make and takes can get a little tricky with roller balls. And I think for the first time class, a lot of times I don't do roller ball classes. Like I did one the other night and I didn't get any enrollments, but they all made like 10 roller balls and they're all interested. But I like to tend to do rollerball classes like after they're enrolled and they have oils to show them how to use them. But also I think rollerball classes are fun and it brings people in. So it's just kind of how you want to do it and how you want to grow. And you got some enrollments. So if you do the rollerball class, just always make sure you give them information about how, whether like, I know it's going to get a little crazy. We're all going to be making stuff, but I just want to share with you, if you're interested in getting some oils for yourself tonight, this is how you do it. And I'll come around and talk to you, you know, while you're doing your roller balls type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the one I did was like very organized because it was like 6 people and we sat around a table and I gave them all like their baggies with their rollers. And I gave them and we did one at a time and we just passed the oils around and we just talked like the whole time. So I made it a little bit more structured. But, and then I talked about how to enroll, but everyone just kind of bought the roller balls from me that night. So, yeah. So I don't know if I liked it or not. I can't really decide. I mean, I'm happy they're all like moms with babies and they're all super interested and they had a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to see what happens with them. Like one of them just messaged me while I'm on here and wants to get some more stuff. So I guess it's going to be okay. I like kind of to do roller balls for people that have oils, like as a support type thing.
So Lisa, you didn't charge them to go to the class.
Oh yeah, I charged
them. Hmm?
Yeah, it was $25.
Oh, okay.
They made 10 5-milliliter roller balls, so it covered my costs. Yeah. So like sometimes if I'm at a class and you make like one roller ball or something, I don't really charge for it. I'm like, you can have this roller ball if you enroll, or this is a little gift for coming. Sometimes I do that, but this cost me probably $15. Probably cost me about $15. So I probably made $10 on each set. So I just kind of decided my profit. And so, yeah, if they're doing something big like that, yeah. And so they all gave me $25. You know, I made maybe $60 that night, but nobody enrolled. So I'm like, I don't know, but I feel like I made connections with them and one of them wants to host a class. And so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because now they have the 10 roller balls. They don't necessarily need them unless they, you know, we talked about a lot of other things during the class. So it can go both ways. Lisa Zimmer, I think you probably follow her, Lois. Lisa Zimmer, if you have the trifold. She does the rollerball classes all the time now. She doesn't make 10 rollerballs. She makes like 3 or 4 or 5. And she enrolls a lot. So I think it can go either way. Just kind of, you just have to make sure that you close and really talk about the importance of getting their own kit. I think we made, Go
It
ahead.
sounds like your class was a themed class, that it was for young mothers.
Yep.
And ours was just sort of, we had 20 people there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they were from all walks of life, all ages. And we were just we had 4 different roller balls.
That's perfect. That's perfect. See, we made 10. It was like a pretty like direct class. And so it was just like, that's enough. They probably didn't want to buy stuff on top of that. But if you just do like 3 or 4, they're not getting enough to really kind of do what they want to do. So I think that's why those are more successful than like making the 10. But my friend had specifically said she wanted to do this a long time ago. So she's one of my customers. So I said I would do it for her. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts with that. Okay. So here's the next important thing I want to go over is booking classes. And she gives you 3 different ways to do that with the 3 different scripts. And I think this is another really important part of your business is booking classes at classes. Or, following up with people to host classes for you. Because this is where you're going to get your, people that are not in your network. It's going to be people in other people's networks. So how do you feel about asking people to host classes for you?
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I was reading the scripts. I read the scripts quite a few times because I was traveling this weekend. So when I was on the flights, I would, this was my book kind of thing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I was, so I'm reading all these, but one thing that, in option 1,
Yep.
if you can kind of explain it, because it says, it says you don't have to buy anything, but if you do see something you want, I will absolutely help you get it. So do you say things like that?
I probably don't use this exact script, but I'll say something like, you can invite some friends over and, my phrase is more like I just want to empower people to know about essential oils as natural solutions. And if they're interested in getting some oils, I'll show them how to do that. So I don't really say like, if you don't want something, you don't have to buy it. But I know this is like verbiage she uses verbiage from like a sales technique. Like you don't have to buy anything, but if you see something you want, I'll help you go over. I more to say like, I'm very educational. I want to, my mission, which is true. I want to empower people to know there's natural solutions out there for their health. And if they're interested in getting them, then I'll show them how to do that. That's kind of more my phrasing. I don't know about you, Kelly, but I think people like what they don't want is just like a big sales pitch. So like I just say like, and I think doTERRA in general is pretty easy to be educational, and then then empower people, and then if they want to get the oils, then they can.
Okay.
I think people want to know that you're just not gonna come over and like, if they don't know you that well, they want to know that you're going to come over and not just kind of be like a big sales pitch and not, just ask to buy everything, they want you to know that, just kind of do that. So yeah, I mean, I could see that's okay how she says it. But it's just kind of another way. There's other ways to say it.
Okay.
I think in the beginning, like setting their expectation is important, kind of giving a rundown of what you're going to be doing basically for them, and really highlighting the host or who, if you're doing a one-on-one, not so much, but if you're doing a class, really highlight on the host, because then that will help other people to really want to, host a class too.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I usually give something to the host, like this last one, and I'm different in my business, but I gave her the baby line. I said, oh, and Kara's hosting a class. Thank you for hosting a class here. And she's a friend of mine too, so it's kind of like a gift / whatever. Because it's $37. I wouldn't expect new builders to do that. But I said, since you held this event and you just had a baby, which she did a couple weeks ago, and she looks perfect already, hate her, but I gave her the baby line. So, or whatever the little gift is, like if you host a class and you get a special gift for me, whatever it is that you want to do. And so kind of like Kelly said, really talking to them. And then even before the event too, really talking about what you plan to do. And hey, I'm going to ask people if they want to purchase things. If they do, then the way I do it is I give 10% back of what I earn in free oils. So like, let's say the party is 200 PV. I earn $40 in oils. I give them $20 free in oils. So it's not what the PV is, but like what I make in dollar amount. So I kind of explain that to them too.
Okay.
But booking classes is the key to your business. And Kelly and I are in a group right now that's really just trying to keep our summer going. And we're just really trying to book a lot of events, because that's where it's at, either one-on-ones or events. That's how you grow your business. And great people to host events for you are just people that are good friends, right? People that are in your group already, that already have the oils to host an event for you, that are sharers. And obviously people in your community that you think might be interested in, like a chiropractic office, or any kind of, I'm doing something at a local like gym area or something that's in your niche of things that you like to do, like at your church or something that you're really involved in, that you have a lot of, have good connections with. That's a really great people to ask to host for you. Because you can only bring in so many people, but your friend knows 20 people and your other friend knows 20 more people, and so through that is where you get your connections from.
It was interesting too. I was watching that 96%, one of the videos, and she really talked about Franks. Have you heard that, Lisa? Franks?
No.
Acronym for finding, people in like your warm market or getting outside of your warm market. But Franks stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, like not necessarily kids themselves, but like, teachers or, parents of the kids know, and then spouse, same kind of thing, people that work with your spouse or people your spouse knows that you may not. So it's just kind of connecting all those together. I thought that was really interesting. So
yeah, that's great. And 96%, she has like a Facebook page and she does a doTERRA business. So she shares, why she called the 96%? Because it's like what?
96%, I think, of the people aren't involved with oils or something.
Are not.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big opening for us to share. There's lots of people that need to know about them. Yeah, that's great. And as I know people like, I don't have anyone to share with. I'm like, all right, you don't get your hair done, you don't get your nails done, you don't go to the dentist, you don't have any friends, you don't go to, there's people just don't think, of all the people that are available to them. So yeah, use these scripts, but also how to make them feel comfortable for yourself too. If something doesn't sound right to you, it's not going to come out right. So you'll learn to feel it feels comfortable for yourself. And that's what I say is, my mission is to empower people to know about natural solutions for their health. And, after we share the oils and go through them, I love to, talk to people individually, what's best for them. And if they're interested at that time, then they can, I'll show them how to get the oils. That's kind of what comes up for me. And it's kind of what I do. So, but it's different for everybody. But yeah, these are great, just different ways. And like the way she chats about it, she's a little bit more hardcore, I feel like Angela is, but I think, she's super successful in her way too. So
Exactly.
So everyone's different, but I think it's just the whole idea of putting together something that's comfortable for you, for reaching out to a host and going for it. So,
because I definitely wouldn't say something that way, but I was just wondering if it works. I mean, people. Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah, in the sales world, I think it does, and I think maybe people just don't focus on that. But the reason the psychology behind that is everyone's worried that they're going to have to buy something. So what she's saying is you don't have to buy anything, but if you want to, I'll show you how. So then it kind of lets them off the hook, right away because they're thinking, oh, I don't want to do this because I have to buy something, blah, blah, but right away you say, you don't have to buy something, but if you want to, then I'll show you how. Because once you get them in there, then they're going to want to probably get something. Most of the people will. But that's going to get them the psychology of it is that you don't have to buy something, right? And then people are like, oh, okay, so then maybe, I can do this. Otherwise, people are thinking, oh, if I go to this, now I got to get something and da-da-da-da-da. Have you ever been invited to I see I froze again. Am I back?
You're back.
Okay. Have you ever been invited to something, but then someone's like, you can come, but you don't have to buy anything. You're like, okay, you feel like a little bit more comfortable going to the thing, right? Versus like someone invites you to something and then they don't say that, then you're like, oh, I have to go. I'm not going to go because then I have to buy something, So if you kind of put that up front, which is actually pretty true, they don't have to. We want them to, but they don't have to. But we know if they come, most likely they're going to find something they want. So I think that's the psychology of why they say it that way. So I'm pretty much 100% sure. So you could say it in your own way, and that's kind of what I'm saying is I want to empower people. That's my mission. And if they want to purchase, then they can. And that's kind of my way of the psychology of, okay, if they don't want to, then they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so use these, think about these, and make sure that you are also asking your classes whether they would like to host a class for you, because don't miss out on that opportunity, because that's the best time to do it. They're all in front of you. Like, would anyone else be willing to host an event? You can get a free XYZ or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How to prep your host. Did you feel like this was helpful here? The little, there was something that you could document, download that had the,
right.
Did you all open that? That basically showed like how to invite, how to follow up 1 week before the class, 3 days before the class, and just kind of what to say.
Right.
Super important, right? Because I make Facebook events for mine, and then I always I have an event on Sunday, so I just checked in with my person. Okay, how's it looking for Sunday? What questions do you have? Make sure you're following up with the people. How many do you think are coming? It's constantly doing that, so it's like on the top of their mind too. So how to have them invite people. She says invite 2 weeks before the class. I usually do 3 to 4. Do the inviting, and then start posting a couple weeks before. And the contacting, making sure that reminding, because we just need reminders everywhere. People are so here, there, and everywhere. You won't have a successful class if your host isn't ready or prepared or inviting the right people. So you really have to get your hosts ready. So this is like a little sample email that you can use to send to them or talk to them about. Do you get the importance of that, or any questions about that? I don't know if you've had hosts yet, but this will help.
No, I don't have any. I mean, it's pretty well set.
Yeah, it's just nice to have these, so then you have it in your repertoire. And then how to teach a class.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like that video?
No, I enjoyed that. She
Yes.
took Natural Solutions leaflet and just went right through it.
Right.
Very good.
And watch that over and over and over until you feel comfortable with it, because really that's kind of what you're doing in this business. You learn to teach that class, and that's all you need. And then you can throw in the roller balls and this and this every once in a while. But the Natural Solutions class, if you can master that, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing constantly. You're just getting people to get the Natural Solutions kit. So, if you're going to meet with someone, before you meet with them, watch that. Before your class, watch that. And that's what it is. It's just repeating that over and over. If I come to teach there to either of your places, which I'm trying to get there, you'll see me do this exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I basically learned, is through, of course I have my own little spins on things and little stories, but the majority of it is this type of class. And I had someone on my call, or we were on a call last night, and she said, yeah, I went to this is sharing the business opportunity, what you're going to watch. She's like, I want to watch that again. And so this is something that you can revisit and go back and look at all the time. It's there for you, and it's there for anyone that wants to share. So these are great resources for you. And it's just the basics. And this is all you really know. Once you have this stuff down, you're good to go. Now you just got to get the people and do it with them. It's really just repeating these actions over and over and over and over with new people. And it's simple, but it's work. Time-consuming work, but good work. Do you have questions about teaching a class? And you don't always, I mean, one-on-ones are just as, are just as positive as teaching a whole entire class. So, when you're teaching the class to like 5 people or 2 people or 1 people, you're kind of doing the same thing, And I think actually, doing the one-on-ones, that it takes longer than teaching a class because you're really getting to longer conversations, which is could be a good thing too. But your classes shouldn't be more than like, where you're talking about it more than like 40 minutes or something, You don't want it to get too long. All right, ladies, the time is running out here. So, any questions before we get into our last week? This last week will be supporting your customers, how to do a wellness consult. That's what we want to do after we enroll everyone. And then sharing the business opportunity, which is super important.
Okay.
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 All right, everyone, thanks for popping on tonight. And you guys are doing great. And any questions that you have, let me know, okay?
Okay.
Get your date for when you're coming to Tennessee.
I know, I'm working on it. You wait and see. It's coming. And Anna Marie will come with me. I just talked to her today, so she wants to come with. So we'll see.
Yeah, I already have some place for you to stay.
All right, that sounds good. And Helen, you too. I'm going to be making my way to Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay?
Sounds good. Yep.
All right. All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Good
You
night.
too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.